Southern Soul Livestream is a weekly talk show and music hangout where the hosts learn your name and just might remind you of a favorite relative. We spotlight fascinating people, discuss current events, and pay special attention to lifting up generations. So if you want to know more, learn more, be more, or just be, Southern Soul Livestream is the place for you. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Just log on, kick back, and experience the eclectic vibe. Check us out at soullivestream.com.
So, Dr. Carrie Hill, thank you for being here today. I saw the title and Katie recommended that you would be here, and I got so excited because, as you see, we have our teens, preteens here. In addition, that we have Donald. He's going to be speaking later about his Genius Summer Camp. And in addition to your spotlight is to balance it out. We've had tons of parents asking us, hey, how do we be safe? How do we empower these young, bright people who really, really want to do, various things that includes technology and computers and social media, but how do we stay safe? So I'm grateful and thankful for you to be here today. And I'm going to start by reading your bio, if you don't mind, just to introduce people and let them know who you are. And I think next, if you want to say anything and turn on your presentation, then that'd be a great transition. What do you think? Awesome. And I think you're still muted, just in case. So let me tell people about you. Carrie Hill serves as Senior Director of School-Based Initiatives for the Georgia Campaign for Adolescent Power and Potential. Dr. McDonald Hill has a deep commitment to improving adolescent health and reducing health disparities, as demonstrated by more than 20 years of experience researching, developing, implementing, and evaluating adolescent health initiatives. Prior to GCAP, Dr. McDonald Hill served as assistant professor in the Department of Health Promotion and Physical Education at Kennesaw State University. She also served as vice president, director of programs at the Center for Black Women's Wellness and healthcare science and technology teacher for Atlanta's Henry W. Grady High School. Thank you, Dr. Carrie Hill, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. First of all, starting off with that icebreaker, I'm really not sure how I feel right now. So I appreciate hearing my bio. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm back to the confidence is back, but boy, go young people. That was awesome to see your responses to those questions. I'm looking forward to hearing from you a little bit later. As you mentioned, Calvin, I am with the Georgia Campaign for Adolescent Power and Potential. Absolutely love the organization. We've been around for over 25 years, and I have a presentation and it starts with a few slides about GCAT, so I can tell you a little bit more about it in one moment. All right, I am hoping everyone can see these slides. And how do I get it on presentation mode?
The lower right of your PowerPoint. Yeah.
It's blocked right now with.
Look like a movie screen.
Okay, now I moved it. All right, there we go.
You can click right next to where it says your name.
The young people, I know you're the ones to tell me. Thank you so much. All right, so as I mentioned, we've been in existence for over 25 years. So we started in 1995 when Georgia had the highest teen birth rate in the country. And since then, we have drastically reduced the teen birth rate with the help of several partners throughout the state of Georgia. In 2012, we changed our name from Georgia Campaign for Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention to Georgia Campaign for Adolescent Power and Potential, and started looking at the whole child. So we still do work with teen pregnancy prevention, but we also look at physical activity and nutrition. We look at these 5 focus areas: parent engagement, teen pregnancy prevention, as I mentioned, youth empowerment. So this is what we do. Now, we have a very ambitious goal of serving over 360,000 young people across 80 counties within the next few years. So this is our Impact 2025 goal. If this is protectyoungeyes.com, and you'll see here that they will review different apps, videos. So I can click on, say, Among Us, and it will give me details on what Among Us is. And as we talked about earlier, it's a great opportunity for connection. It tells you what age it's appropriate for, and just goes into details about what parents need to know. And as you see from the previous screen, there are a number of different apps that are rated that you can get this type of information on. So before you hit download in the App Store or the Play Store, you can learn more about the accessibility and the uses of these different apps. Now, parental controls. So Donald, we were just talking about TikTok parental controls. You click on that link above, parental controls apps. This is in alphabetical order, so we'll go to TikTok. Sorry about this scrolling so quickly. And this is where it shows you about how to set up those parental restrictions. So the passcodes, all of that is here. Similarly, Common Sense Media, review what your kids are into before they get into it. So Common Sense Media will rate books, so let you know about age appropriate books. They'll rate apps and games. A number of different things we can review through Common Sense Media. And again, these are just free sites.
Awesome. These are awesome resources. And Tamika, did you get those links so we can put them in the chat?
And I can absolutely, when I'm finished, put them in chat as well. Okay. Bark is another similar resource as well, but with them, there is a fee attached to it. So I would say start off with the first two that I mentioned.
Okay.
And then GCAP has a parent toolkit. So if you go on to our website, gcap.org, you click on parent toolkit, it will take you to this page. I'm going to click on strategies to mitigate social media anxiety. And you see that there are tips. So, when we talk about limiting screen time, the encouragement is for us to have conversations with our kids about, the boundaries that we want to set. So instead of saying, I'm taking your phone away, and we talk about, some of the negatives and positives, the irresponsible and versus responsible use. And we come up with something mutually, so that we're building trust, we're building negotiation, we're coming up with something that we feel comfortable sticking to. So that is an example of one of the resources in the parent toolkit. But this parent toolkit actually it covers a number of different topics. So please download this and feel free to view these at any point. Again, gcap.org is the site, and this is the parent toolkit. I'm going to stop right there because I think I've taken up too much time. I'm sorry if I've gone over time, but my contact is right here. And I thank you all so much for having me.
Awesome. Dr. Carrie Hill, thank you so much. I love that GCAP website. I had a chance to kind of preview it, and you guys cover so many topics there. And I thank you for being here, because I literally had multiple parents reach out to me asking these questions that are really hard to answer, right? Because it's always changing every day and there's so much going on. So thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us an overview. And we definitely have to have you back. Katie, we got to have Dr. Carrie Hill back, because I know that they have so much information. Thank you for getting us started on the topic of how we can be safe with social media and giving us resources that we can go to and keep up with this stuff as it changes. It feels like almost daily.
And Calvin, I apologize if I can add just quickly that we have several webinars that we've done over the past year on a number of different topics, with digital safety being one of them. And those webinars are recorded and can be viewed on the website. So that's, another opportunity for you to hear from our experts on digital safety tips.
Awesome. I'll definitely recommend that to friends and family, that those have been recorded and we will be able to get access to it. Thank you very much. Hey, what's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. So have you started school yet?
Yes, I have.
Oh, yeah? So what grade are you in?
6.
So what's going on with a sixth grader? I mean, what's your favorite subject? I mean, what are you getting into? You playing football? I mean, what do sixth graders do?
No, I play basketball. I
Oh.
also like track and field. And 6th grade, it's much harder than elementary school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of walking.
a lot of walking?
Yes.
That sounds exciting, and I'm sure there's a story behind it. It's been a couple months ago since you were first on the show, and I just thank you, because we were talking about the gaps to college success, and you found that story very interesting. Do you remember being here like a couple months ago?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So thank you for being here. I mean, you said something that, I don't remember what you said, but I know a lot of adults, we were just like almost in tears, because we were like, because, you do this work, but it's awesome to know somebody like you appreciate it. But let's get into a question. I got this question your mom sent to me, and, tell me this, why do you think it's important for children to think about entrepreneurship?
Well, I think it's important for them to think about entrepreneurship. So in the future, they can be wealthy. Or if they don't get a scholarship to go to college, they can pay for college with the money that they made for entrepreneurship. And just working for someone, like, say, for example, being a cashier. You don't make a lot of money off of this, but with starting your own business, you might make much more money than a cashier would. But you have to start off with the little steps.
Awesome. So do you have any like hobbies or things that you love to do that you're thinking about turning into maybe a business or entrepreneurship?
Yes, I do. I like making t-shirts.
Okay.
Like gaming t-shirts or new trending t-shirts, or t-shirts with inspirational quotes.
Oh, inspirational quotes. You have some favorites you want to share with us?
I guess, yeah.
Well, I'm wondering, because, I love t-shirts, right? And I love t-shirts with quotes. I tend to like funny quotes, though. Will your shirts be funny also?
Yes, they can. They will.
You said that they can. Okay.
Yes,
So
they will.
if you could get some shirts that are funny, then I'll definitely support you there. So tell me this, why do you think it's important for children and adults to learn about various cultures and languages as they're thinking about starting and running their own business? Do you think that's important? Like, what are your thoughts?
Yes, actually, that is very important, because speaking a different language is important by itself. Say, for example, if you go to a different country and they speak a different language, maybe you want to learn that language. But it's important to start at a young age, because your mind is still developing and you'll keep the language in your mind. But it's very important to know a language, just not English, while starting a business. Because, say, for example, you want to go to a different country or a different continent and sell your product. They won't know what you're saying, most likely, and you won't know what they're saying. Say, for example, Africa. Most of the countries in Africa speak French. I also speak French myself.
You speak French? Wow, I didn't know that. I mean, I wish I spoke French, but I don't. Maybe you can like share a little bit with us. I mean, how do I say hello in French? I think you muted.
Désolé. Bonjour.
Oh, bonjour. How do I say I'm hungry, I want to eat, like with a Texas accent?
Euh,
That was a trick. I'm sorry.
Donne-moi une baffe. Je peux très triste.
Awesome. This is awesome. How many years have you been studying French?
I want to say 5.
5? That
Yeah.
is awesome. So do you think you may sell some of your products, over in France?
France, yes. Sometimes maybe in Ghana.
Oh,
I want to
you
go
know,
to Africa soon. So
okay. So you haven't been yet, but it seems like you plan to travel.
no, but I've been to France.
Oh, but you have been to France. Okay. This is pretty awesome. Well, I am excited that you are here with us tonight, sharing your perspective about entrepreneurship. I am going to be looking for your t-shirts and the cool sayings that you have on your t-shirts. And definitely if you have some that are funny, I'm definitely going to buy those. After all, I got on the cool shirt now. It's not funny, but maybe, you can talk to your mom about designing some shirts for Southern Soul. What do you think?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
have that
Okay.
in mind.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here tonight. I'm blessed by your presence. And, do look forward. I want to thank you. We're going to send you that gift. What is it called? A pop lock card or something? Yeah, we're going to send you a pop lock card.
Wait, you think you can send me a Fortnite gift card?
Oh, a different kind of gift card?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll
Fortnite.
talk
Here,
to
I'll type
I'll
it in the
talk to
chat.
I'll talk to Katie. I don't know anything about these, but she's like an expert on them. What is it called again?
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Oh, Fortnite. Oh my goodness. Yes, I that has been added. Katie, I did not know about the Fortnite gift cards.
Yes. Very important. We'll get you as a Fortnite gift card, Ziyad, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Hey, Keeley,
Hi,
how are you doing, lady?
I am doing amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. I mean, you got a lot of questions correct. Like, how many did you get correct?
I couldn't keep track.
You couldn't keep track, just pretty much a lot. Is it true that you got like some surprise today from the grandparents? What did you get today?
I got some. I got picked up by them.
Oh, okay. I thought they got you something
And
special.
I got some shoes.
Oh, you got some shoes. Well, congratulations. Were you like good or something? How'd you get some new shoes? I mean,
My papa.
no reasons, just because. Well, I wanted to talk to you tonight because I know in the past you were really kind of hipping me to understanding TikTok, right? And silly me, right? And you told me, you're like, hey, if you have a business, you must have a TikTok. You told me that, right? Tell me, why is that important that for small business entrepreneurs to have TikTok?
Okay, so why it's important for small business entrepreneurs to have TikTok is because TikTok is a really good platform to grow your business and to start off small and get really big. And so basically because you can link all of your social medias into your TikTok bio, and also you can sponsor different things and have them up as ads. And when you do that, so like let's just say so you have a small business ad come up on your For You page, either you can go to that in your settings to find that so it pops up more recently on people's For You pages, or you can just constantly make videos, and you need to use the right hashtags and stuff to get it on For You pages. And TikTok is just really good to grow your business because a lot of people can see it all around the world.
Oh, wow. Now, I think you have, started your business. Now, I know you design a few things. I think you do a lot of products. Tell us about your business and the products you create.
Okay, so I'm really good with graphic designing, and that's basically just working with, instead of like drawing on paper or anything, that's basically computer art, digital art. And I make cartoons, and I do wallpapers with inspirational quotes, and I do wallpapers. I do customized wallpapers and zodiac signs, different types of things, profile pictures.
Oh, wow. I mean, which one is your favorite? Like, do you have one that's more favorite or one that people ask you most about?
My favorite one to usually make is probably my cartoons.
Oh, why is that?
Cartoons because I basically get to dress up my character or imagine how I want her to look, how her hair needs to be done, what shoes she needs to be wearing, her outfit, and all her accessories. So I get to just dress her up like she's just me as a cartoon version.
Awesome. Now, one thing I find interesting about entrepreneurship and, someone like you is that it gives you a chance to do something you really love, right? And you're really fun and you can actually sell it and make money. I mean, during my day, I think it was before my day, it was like, will we do lemonade stands or something? But, I don't know. Have you ever done a lemonade stand? Maybe? No? Yeah, I think times have changed. So now it's about your graphic art and stuff like that. So tell me, why is entrepreneurship important to you? I know your mom is an entrepreneur, but why is it important to you?
So basically, what entrepreneurship is important to me is because it gets to show me how I need to plan out my future and basically how if I need to what things do good and what things make the most money and what things make the least amount of money, and if there are any specific jobs that support what I want to do when I get older.
Oh, wow. That is a very good lesson. Understanding the things that are in more demand, as you say, because people want to buy them, and the things that are in less demand. How about with your art or your designs? Have you discovered that people like more things than other, like your grandma, your grandpa, or whatever?
So I have not made any wallpapers for my grandparents yet, surprisingly, but
Oh,
things that are in higher demand are usually wallpapers and inspirational quote wallpapers.
oh. Why do you think people like the inspirational quotes?
So usually people they have me make an inspirational quote, and just having an inspirational quote, like let's just say you're opening up your laptop after you had a bad day or something, you just see a quote, remember, you're amazing. That just makes you feel some type of way. It makes you feel good, and it just doesn't make you it's just reminding you that you're a great person and you are loved and you're just amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Keeley, for helping us understand entrepreneurship so much better, especially for parents who have children your age, and we may not even know or understand this thing very well. But based on what you told us tonight, I find that it's very important. So I'm definitely going to be focusing on STEM and entrepreneurship more for my son. So thank you for sharing with us. Now, as for the gift card, now, what is it, the Roblox gift card or Fortnite? Which one is more important to you?
More important to me would be Roblox.
Roblox? Okay. Okay. So we'll definitely make sure you get that Roblox card. So thank you for being here tonight and look forward to some of your latest designs. Donald, man, what do you think about that? Yeah, I think you're muted. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, these kids, young people, I should call them, because they're beyond the level of what you call kids. Just amazing, 5 years of French already, and he's just in sixth grade, I think he was saying. You don't hear that every day. And Keeley, I'm not sure what grade she's in, but fourth grade. Okay, so easily speaking like somebody that's 10 grades beyond fourth, with everything she's explaining and the knowledge that she has. And, I'm sitting there listening to her talking about Tik Tok and just thinking, man, I'm foolish to not have that rolling on my thing. This, I'm just like, oh my goodness. So I'm crazily impressed by these young people.
Well, OMG, I had a similar moment. The inspiration for this show was literally I'm talking to Keeley and we're talking about something. And she says, you have a business? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you don't have a TikTok? I'm like, huh? That's literally how she ended up here tonight, right? I'm like, everybody else needs to hear this because I was feeling exactly how you were feeling. Well, people, I want to introduce to you guys Donald Douglas tonight. And Donald is going to talk with us about a topic that I'm calling empowering tweens or preteens with STEM and STEAM. But let me just read a quick summary of who he is. Donald Douglas is a Metro Atlanta STEAM educator with over 20 years of corporate software development experience. He is committee chair of the Douglas County Association of Gifted Children, has served in many other volunteer positions in the county, and also has taught substitute in elementary, middle, and high school. Donald, thank you for being here tonight. Man, it's been years since I talked to you. You've been busy, man. I didn't know that you've been doing all of this. And, is it Douglas County? Is just like your name. I didn't want to create a slip, but it is Douglas County, right? Yeah. Your sister told me all of the things that you're doing, man. This is awesome, man. Just give people an overview of what you do and let's start with your Genius Camp, right? Tell people about your Genius Camp, what it is and what you do.
Okay, so the Genius Camp is as you mentioned, it's a STEAM / STEM camp, and the STEAM is just bringing arts into the whole thing of STEM. So some people just say STEAM, but I kind of like to say both because not everybody knows the word STEAM. But anyhow, a camp that basically allows kids to get enrichment towards developing things with science and other technologies. We do robotics, Lego robotics, and we do programming. We use a lot of Scratch because it's a very dynamic language and has a pretty low entry point that can take you very far. And just a lot of things that kids don't get all the time in their regular educational models that most of them are in. And so we try to make the summers a good time where they don't kind of get into that summer slide, and kind of keep their brains operational and also give them things that they wouldn't otherwise get.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. As I began to check out your camp and look at your background, I was really excited because I began to just think about the context, right, of some of the things that we're going to be talking about in some coming up shows, such as how COVID has affected some of our learning experiences and things like that. I mean, have you had to adjust or pivot, with your camp? Because I can only imagine there's been so much going on that, it's still relevant, it's still important. Like, how have you adjusted? Or, it's less about that, but more about how your message remains to be still important, but how you have to, maybe work a little different to get that message out.
Sure. So yeah, that's a great point. So last summer, most summer camps were totally closed down by the government, and they kind of gave a late green flag to get them started up. And so most camps didn't do anything last year because you need more build up time. But what I was able to do during that first month, when I usually would be having in-person camp, was switch to a virtual camp model. And it was the first time I'd done that. I hadn't needed to do it before, but we were able to do that. And that was a great thing to do, to still be able to get at least some of our content out to people who still had a desire to get some enrichment for their kids. And we kind of kept that virtual model around for a couple of our classes this past summer as well. And so you definitely need to, as a business, be ready to pivot, be ready to switch with what's happening with COVID and whatever may come along next, God forbid.
Well, thank you for that. It's amazing that you were able to do that in 2020, because I know organizations and groups who are still struggling with virtual in 2021. I mean, were you a little nervous up front, or did you feel like your technical background helped you a little bit? How did it flow for you?
Yeah, so definitely a little, nervous, I guess could be a good word, just because anytime you put something out as a small business, so to speak, or whatever, you never know how it's going to be received. And, a lot of people purposefully want their kids to be in a camp hands-on. And so I know there were some people that were like, okay, no, I'm not going to do virtual because that's exactly what I don't want my kids to have, is more screen time. But then there were some others who were like, hey, at least we can be doing something and let's get them in. So definitely was a little bit of a, unknown out there, but, it ended up working good, and we at least were able to keep our name out there and keep things rolling.
Okay. Okay, thank you, thank you. Well, sorry about that. Zoom is so funny, as you know, that voice of IP. I try not to say anything because it will interrupt you. So I try to wait till you're done.
Sure.
One thing I love about your story is this question involves nurturing excellence in children. As I begin to think about it, I'm like, you know what? There's a lot in this question. But the cool thing about it is you have 4 children, Emily, Anna, Vivian, and Anthony. And I've heard that these are regular, everyday kids who love to play outside, who love to get dirty, do crazy kid stuff, but also they also have benefit from your genius summer camp experience in helping them be well-rounded kids. Do you mind sharing with us a few of your secrets, right? Like, how do you, approach this topic of, hey, it's a hard topic. Sometimes it's very intimidating for parents, but then it's like you approach it with your children and it seems like maybe they are benefiting from best of 2 worlds, right? The old get dirty outside, but still, comfortable with STEM. What are your thoughts there?
Well, let me first be clear that 3 out of 4 kids definitely they don't mind getting dirty. The 3 girls. My son, he could stay locked up in his room and be perfectly happy. But the good thing is that again, like you said, it's good to not have, because you can be on either side of it. You can have kids that are just like this on the computer 24/7, and other ones who are like, I could care less. So I think we've just been able to have a good mix because part of it's their nature, but we do some intentional things. I do some intentional things as far as trying to have an environment that's just healthy for them to be able to learn here at home, without going into too many parenting tips or anything like that. I think one of the biggest things we as parents can do is just provide a good, stable environment for our kids with some good regularity, some things that are very consistent, and just so the kids know, where their safe place is and they can feel free to explore either way, and all of us parents, there's always a work in progress. But, I think there's things that we can do to kind of try to help the process and help our kids to be, I guess just diverse learners.
Okay. So definitely diverse learning. So you think, let's say out of the 4, which ones do you think are going to choose a STEM path?
It's hard to say,
You think it may be 50-50 or?
It may be, when they're young, they say different things they want to be, and so, I mean, my son, he probably more than anyone else is, more of the nerdy direction. I wouldn't really call him a nerd, but, he's more definitely into the computers and everything else. But hey, my girls right now, although they may still be watching and listening and disagreeing with whatever I say, they love Minecraft and stuff like that, so, I think they're wide open, whatever they're going to do, it can definitely go either way.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing. Lastly, my last question for you before we kind of get open with some discussion, and for the parents who are listening, if you have any thoughts or discussion points you would like to share. Next, what we're going to do is just, open discussion. So questions or anything that you've been kind of holding. So Donald, you've worked with the Association of Gifted Children, and the manner in which the organization, bridges between parents, educators, and community organizations. Tell us about that experience there and why it's important to you.
Okay, so yeah, it's a great question, a great conversation topic, which I won't go into too much, but having gifted children myself, kids who, excel in school and who kind of show that extra spark, that extra ability to see things a little differently. I think if you're a parent like that, and I know, there are so many parents out there like that, you want to see the best for your kids. And so this organization basically does serve as a bridge between the parents and families and the school system. Our organization was originally run by the school system as far as the leadership, but then it switched out to being just parent-led. And at that time, I kind of took over the reins. And, so one thing I try and do really good is make it to where it is truly a bridge and not a thing of us against them, because you can just definitely get a lot more done when you're not trying to, fight people over different things. But what I've seen is that parents are definitely really concerned that their kids are challenged. If you got a really smart kid, you want them to be challenged. And you can see that a lot of things that come their way through the public school system, a lot of times just aren't challenging. It's kind of usually designed for, kind of hitting that middle ground that everybody can learn. And I know there's advanced classes and AP when you get into high school and everything else, but there definitely is a need. I hear it all the time from parents of gifted kids. What can you help us do to get our kids basically more engaged? Because, a lot of them will effortlessly make very good grades, whiz through things and just be bored and ready to move on. I mean, I know my son, we changed schools because he was, he just got too many awards, in his 5th grade. I was like, this kid should not be getting this many awards. He needs to have more people around him who are going to be challenging him more. So that's the thing that gifted parents are looking at a lot is, how can I get my kid more challenged with what they do? So that's a lot of what I feel when I'm talking with parents.
Awesome. I mean, that's an awesome organization. Now, is this down in Douglas County only? You said it used to be ran by the school or the district?
Yes. Yeah, it was ran by the district. There was district people who were in charge of it, or other administrator type people. But yeah, it's in Douglas County, and so it's I'm pretty much the chairperson, and then we also have a committee, and so we have to get together and work through it. And we're all parents of gifted children that are in the committee.
Yeah. Have you seen maybe, nationwide or statewide other organizations similar to this pop up? Because I know one challenge I have personally is the part where my son just gets extremely bored. And with boredom could come all kinds of things, trouble and things like that. And, you take good kids, they're just bored because they're not being challenged, as you say. But that sounds like a foundational principle and need. Have you seen organizations like this popping up, in other states?
Yeah, so there's a National Association of Gifted Children, NAGC, that's out there. And so some other states have it. Most other states have some kind of organization. Different counties have them at some levels, but it really depends because sometimes they come and go just depending on a set of parents that might be more involved that keep it running. And then when their kids get out of school, the organization might disappear, kind of like some PTA organizations can do the same thing, kind of the same principle, of people aging out and someone may or may not take up the reins of the organization. But there is a national organization, and I know several states as well have their organizations too.
Okay, well, definitely that is some research that we'll definitely look into. We want to share your website. I don't think we have the link. Do you mind dropping in the chat the link to your website so we can just follow your group and just kind of keep track of what you guys are doing? I was checking out your website this week. Well designed. I liked it. Quite responsive. It looked very well on my tablet and my phone. So great job in pulling that together.
Thank you. And this is the summer camp website?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a website also for the other organization?
Yeah, the other one has a Facebook page, but it's kind of a closed page. You have to be a member.
Yeah, okay. So it's more of a closed thing.
Yeah.
No worries. We'll take a look at the national organization. Well, Donald, thank you for being here tonight. Feel free to hang out. What we're going to do is do some open discussion. So let's go to the chat. Tamika, Katie, what do we have? What questions do we have for the audience? It seems like I saw Carrie's name pop up, so she's still here. What questions do we have for Carrie? What questions do we have for Donald? What questions do we have for Ziyad? I want to hear what questions we have for Keeley.
There's a question that was sent directly to me, and they were interested in how the young entrepreneurs started their business.
Oh, say the question again. They're interested in how the entrepreneurs started their business?
Yeah. How did they get started?
Oh, maybe Keeley can help with that. Keeley, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
So how did you first get started in starting, your business? I mean, did you just wake up one day and decide you wanted to start it? Like, how did that happen?
No, it definitely did not go that way. So actually, what happened was I had a bracelet business, and a lot of the animated stickers on Instagram and stuff, and a lot of custom profile pictures. It really just inspired me to do that, and I already really love doing technology, so it just all came together into being a business.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing your inspiration. What other questions we have? We have any questions for Ziyad? I hope somebody here can speak French because I can't. So I have a question. And this is Donald and Dr. Carey Hill. One of the things that, since I'm in technology, I think people know that I worked in technology my career, but often parents ask me, there's a time where kids essentially start hacking, not necessarily hacking, let's just say finding creative ways around some of the parental controls. And I had no idea how many ways there were to get around certain techniques, such as, hey, do you set up, a security on your router? Do you set up security, at your ISP? Hey, one scenario that a parent gave me is her preteen found an old iPod, connected it to the Wi-Fi, and used the old iPod. These were the original iPod, the first ones with Wi-Fi, and used that for text messaging. Go figure. I didn't even know you can do that. But Dr. Carey Hill or Donald, have you guys ever seen those scenarios?
Yeah, definitely. I can say I've seen that, and I know my kids do have an old iPod that's up in their room right now. That could be what the function of that is, sitting up there, come to think of it. Because the thing has gotten powered up here. So they're probably listening in like, oh, we need to hide that now. But yeah, definitely a lot of those devices, kids are creative with everything. Oh my goodness. They can, if there's a way to get around something, they are going to find it. Some of it's common knowledge for them, and some of it is, hey, they got the internet. How can I get around whatever this issue is? How can I get around the screen time control? I've done some things to personally to kind of keep some of that from happening, which I can't share because, like I said, my kids might be listening in.
Yes, indeed.
But they find ways around stuff, definitely. Dr. Hill, I know you can say some more about that.
No, I definitely agree with you that there are ways to get around some of these things. I mean, sometimes it takes them a while to figure it out, so we can, buy some time. But, sometimes we need to think about the access that we are giving them. So are we allowing them to view these or use their devices in their rooms with the door closed all the time? Do we take it away before bedtime? Do we say, hey, I want you in the room with me? And sometimes ask them, hey, what are you watching? So I think it's the dialogue,
yes,
the having the communication and the relationship building. I think that's what's most important. And, continuing to discuss responsible and irresponsible use, but not always in that preachy way. And also learning to do some things with them. So we know with TikTok, Keeley mentioned the businesses, maybe we're doing dances on there, we're just doing things with them. And again, the dialogue, I think, is what's most important.
Yes,
go ahead, Donald.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, let me just second that. More than anything else, I believe, is the dialogue and just knowing that you've put stuff into them. Because the fact of the matter is, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. The fact of the matter is, you're not going to be standing behind their back 24/7. They have to know for themselves what is right and what is wrong. And that comes through an open and continual dialogue with them, and just having trust that goes both ways. You have to give them a measure of trust. And, they have to reciprocate that to you. And because without that trust, it doesn't matter what you try to do, it's just not going to go well.
Yeah, and I love it. Thank you for sharing that, because the questions I was getting, I'm like, there's not enough technology in the world. And it's like, whatever you do, it's only a temporary solution. So the trust, the relationship is very important. So thanks for sharing that.
So I have a quick question about, children who have sort of multiple, they have multiple presences on different social media. Like they might have a fake account or a parent's account on Facebook or on any of the social media things. And I think about a week ago, I was with my real estate agent when they were trying to find their niece, and come to find out that the niece had several different fake profiles, and they were trying to find where this girl was, and they were looking at her Facebook. And finally, my real estate agent's daughter said, that's not her real profile. That's not her real boyfriend. She's got a different profile. So it's this not even, it goes back to that issue of trust and knowing your children and your children being honest with you and things like that. I mean, that's a real thing with teenagers, is that they have multiple accounts and they have fake accounts that they share with their parents too. I didn't mean to shock everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the essence of the statement is, I go back to what Donald and Dr. Hill said, relationship, because only thing I've seen is 15 different technologies that you have to keep up with. And even that doesn't allow, the thing that you just mentioned. So there's no silver bullet, I guess, is the answer that we've seen, is that since there's no silver bullet, then essentially we're back to the relationship.
Thank you for joining us at Southern Soul Livestream Talk Show. Join us weekly at soullivestream.com. If you're joining us live, we'll take a quick music break and then come back for discussion with the audience.